Not too long ago, we set the example for the world on civil liberties and human rights. Today, we have this bipartisan piece of legislation, the Patriot Act, that criminalizes free speech, authorizes warrantless searches, allows for wiretaps without probable cause. People can now be locked up on suspicion alone, denied due process or even a hearing. As for foreign nationals, forget it. They can be deported for what they say or think, even if they're completely law-abiding. They can be kept from ever entering this country under the ideological exclusion rule, again, based on what they say or think. All this accomplished by a bill that our leaders rushed to pass just 6 weeks after those towers came down. Did you read the Patriot Act, Judge? Members of Congress certainly didn't. It was pushed through with so much haste. There was almost no deliberation because few, if any, members of the House or Senate had bothered to read it. Most still haven't. A bill that mocks our Constitution and moves us ever closer to tyranny. We now round up suspects and throw them in detention camps, claiming they're not prisoners of war, so that we may torture them in violation of the Geneva Convention. We set up these camps in Cuba and other foreign locations. This is not something done by a government with moral integrity. It does not reflect a nation with a conscience. And let's talk about the torture. This isn't slapping around some suspect who knows of a ticking bomb. We now use torture as a matter of course. We use it against people just to see if they have information, any information. Torture is no longer the exception, but the rule. It's systemic. Waterboarding, sexual humiliation, extreme psychological and physical abuse. We all know the horrors of Abu Ghraib, and those orders came from the very top. George Bush knew and approved of these tactics, as did Rummy, Condi, Dick, Ashcroft, Tenet, even Colin Powell. They all knew and participated in creating the policy, as did many others, and yet not one high-ranking officer or member of this administration has been held accountable. Not one. We set up these secret prisons using techniques modeled on the dungeons of Egypt. We chain prisoners to ceilings. We subject them to simulated drownings or sexual abuse. This is not moral leadership. This is not the conduct of a country that regards the law or respects human rights. And the country I speak of is not Egypt or Saudi Arabia or even North Korea. It's the United States of America, my country, your country.